think we should have an intro?
Nah.
Should we? We shouldn't. No goofs for the intro.
Oh, goose for the intro? I think
Yeah,
we
like
have
we have
over.
a cold open. We have a cold open. I don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, Tony. Do we have a cold open? I don't know.
I prefer
Was
my
this an episode
opens
of
hot.
Smartless?
You prefer it hot?
I want a hot open
A hot open?
with the boys.
Mhm. Yeah, it looks scrumptious.
Sounds rich.
Who would like to recap what happened last time?
We punched some butts and kicked some ass.
We did. And hey, and now my microphone's actually on OBS. Why don't you default to the microphone every other program uses?
I think.
Anyways. You were saying.
Oh, no, that's it.
We won the fight,
We did.
and then some like bat thing that kind of looked like it came out of Fallout 76 came rolling out, and he was possessed by our bestest squid bro, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna villain a monologue a little bit. Y'all need to leave."
And
But
then we
you need to leave
huddled.
that guy here. Yeah, he let us
We did
huddle,
the
which
team
was really
huddle.
nice.
It was very kind. And we were like, so what do we do, guys? And Anwar's like, I think we should kick its ass. And we were like, really? Are you sure? And Anwar's like, let's put it in the trash can where he belongs.
It's not really the word I use, but that's
Let's-
not what happened.
Let's give him a wedgie in front of his friends. And
Yeah,
everyone
that's
was like,
definitely not what I said.
all right, let's do this shit. And Anwar led just a brutal Green Lantern style beatdown.
Technically true.
Yeah, part of what was going on is he was like, "Hey, I'll let you guys leave right now," but then you guys are like, "All right, we're gonna go. We're just gonna take this
What's
bird
behind door number
person
2?
with you." And he's like, "Actually, no, that stays here." And then that's when you're like, "Now we're gonna kick his ass."
It's like, oh, well, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
For you!
We were grateful for the huddle. It was nice.
But we did
Um,
really kick his ass, like
Yeah, absolutely.
pretty efficiently.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
Big
the
boot.
power of action economy for you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say friendship, but sure.
Friendship,
This-
action economy,
this-
good rolls.
This demon
Top
did
three.
not have legendaries, so he got his ass whooped pretty bad.
Oh, that'll do
But
it.
we found
Oh, what I'm
out-
hearing is you want a rematch with with legendary actions. Is that
Let me heal first.
okay?
Okay.
But we beat him, and then we saw where the Trask is, which is I think the hot pink Barbie pink circle. Elsewhere.
No. Oh, elsewhere.
On a different.
Yeah, going back to
map.
the bigger map.
Yeah, the big boy map.
There
That
it
was
is.
purple.
Yes, purple.
Started moving.
And we took our vulture friend, which I still don't think we have a name for yet.
Professor Hilo.
Hilo, that's right. And teleported him to nearby where the battlefront is.
Yep,
Well,
about
still like
a
100
days
miles
at
now, right?
Beggar's Hole.
Oh, days.
So yeah, we will cut to you guys were able to meet up with some resistance fighter kind of people, and they greeted you warmly, and they gave you a spot to hunker down for the night and interrogate your captive. So we're going to cut a little bit forward in time to where we find the five of you as well as Atlas in the kitchen area coming up with a plan, while Keone and Arantis are looking after and making sure that nothing happens with your captured enemy who currently is beaten unconscious and blindfolded and completely bound up and tied up.
I want
Is
to
it-
add gagged to that too, just in case he has any
Yeah.
only verbal spells.
That's
Let's cut out his tongue too. That way, he
Well,
definitely won't use any spells. This
well,
is
that
good.
frees
This
up a
is
couple
good.
actions of mine coming up. So
We can talk to him telepathically.
No, let's not completely maim him yet.
Not yet.
Is this post short rest or pre short rest?
We'll say post short rest, but not long rest.
Oh, absolutely.
But we're in the evening of this day at this point.
I do appreciate it. Okay, that's a good start.
Yeah, I might as well roll hit dice for Atlas and Orontis and people.
I don't think I get anything back.
I get my channel divinities, which is nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
13. Great. Let's do that again. There we go.
Okay.
Don't forget to add your con, y'all.
Alright, yeah, this guy doesn't have a very good con. I think it might have actually been worse than 13 on that first roll then.
This feels appropriate.
Alright, there we go. That's pretty good.
Double check myself there.
Alright. You get what? It's half rounded down back on your long rest, right?
Yes.
I'm more than enough then.
Yeah, so
Alright.
don't tick off your long rest things, just short rests.
Yeah.
We don't know what's gonna happen here.
Oh, yeah, good music choice, Ryan.
I don't know what music choice I'm gonna choose until I search it, and then I see what pops up.
Do you just search vibes in the search bar? Because the names of these videos are very on point, you know?
They're getting easier to find, but no, I searched fantasy music tense.
Alright, there you go.
Alrighty, so
So did we say we're zone of truthing? Is that the move?
let's see what
in
Atlas
another room right
has. He's in a different room, so you can speak freely if you want.
Okay, I'm sorry, what'd you say, Sid?
I said what Richard said,
Oh.
basically.
Alright, what's the plan here? We doing good cop, bad cop, awful cop, bad cop, decent cop, funny cop, sad cop.
Atlas has Charm Monster, Zone of Truth, Calm Emotions, and Detect Thoughts are all potential things. Oh, also, I think somebody had talked about potentially detecting magic to make sure that he doesn't have a little thing in his head, so he can be remotely
Yes.
accessed.
Yeah. In fact, I could do that with the wand.
Okay. You would be able to detect that he does not have one of those things in his head.
Oh. Okay.
Interesting.
He had a staff thing that was magical. He had like a spell focus.
I can Bane, yeah.
Are you concentrating on anything else?
Nope.
Because I was going to say, if we want to lead, can you bane something that's unconscious? Does it have to be conscious? Doesn't even know.
I don't know.
If it's a thing that says it has to hear you, then it has to be conscious.
I'll give somebody else the wand that's not going to concentrate on detect thoughts, so we can just keep that up as well.
I was going to say, if we wanted to lead with bane, then we could try charm monster right away, and then he'll be friendly towards us, and that'll alleviate a lot of this.
Are we sure this is a monster or is it humanoid? Is that
I think-
something we could ask
I
the
think it's
DM?
a circle within a circle. So it's
Yeah. Charm monster covers any humanoid, and
Oh,
it's like
I
a
didn't
more
know that.
powerful version of charm person.
right.
I
Yep.
did not know that.
So any creature. It should just say charm creature.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah,
make it
that
more
would-
clear. But yeah.
Um,
It has a duration of 1 hour.
Okay.
and the charmed effect, just so it is not mind control as much as people would say it is.
The charmed creature is friendly to you. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you.
Question.
Is charmed until the spell ends or until one of your you or any of your companions do anything harmful to it. So you can't do like slapping bad cop kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I know you're gonna bane it, Rain. Is this a situation where silvery barbs would? Where silvery barbs would apply after it tries to do the save for the charm, or is that only?
I
An
mean,
attack
if it.
roll?
No, if it succeeds on the save, then I can silvery barbs it.
Okay. Just
I
thinking
still
about what
actually
else
have first level slots.
Okay, I'm just thinking about what else like we have in the toolbox, for making this work.
I would say the easiest path first is charm monster, charm creature. If that doesn't work, because he is powerful, then we have detect thoughts in zone of truth.
Zone of truth
I also
being
have
last, I assume.
Suggestion.
I mean, it would be in tandem.
Oh,
And then after that, we have redacted.
after that, we have sound effect. Biff, pow,
Oh.
wham.
But I do think, because we talked about this a little bit last week, I don't even know if we need to go with the good cop, bad cop thing, because we have someone who can go into people's minds, and we can get just about as much information from them as we
True.
need. Cerebro has already tried to kill him to keep us from getting his information. So
Mhm.
Cerebro has no interest in saving him currently.
Right.
If we're inside of the zone of truth, and one of us could choose to fail and straight up tell him that and be like, "We're not lying. He tried to kill you."
Yeah. And so really the options are you help us and we can work out something for you. As an informant, as a protected informant of the resistance. Or you can not help us. You will not be safe by Cerebro because he has already written you off. And we can literally do whatever we want with you. So which one sounds good? But I would say that's like our hammer. That's the one we bring down.
Alright, so who's doing what?
We're baning and then charming.
Yeah.
Alright, who's baning?
Rain will cast Bane. I could do it without a spell slot because I know his name. So Charisma saving throw, DC 17. And because I know his name, I'm going to make him roll at disadvantage.
Okay. Saves.
Hmm.
God damn it. Well. Apparently he has a plus 11 charisma? Holy shit.
That's a charming bird.
He's a,
Yeah, I've decided to just roll it flat for you guys so you can see, like, you try to cast Bane on it, you feel like almost not a counter spell, just like a wave of like what part of you can already kind of detect magic at times. You can just tell, like, wow, this guy is like focused. He is extremely mentally honed.
yeah,
Should I do it
powerful.
again? I have more of the free ones today.
If you do, I'll cast suggestion on him.
What's your save?
It is 15, so not crazy high, but you know.
So he just needs to roll a 4.
Oh God.
He needs
It
to roll
could happen.
1, a 2, or a 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try a Bane again because
Well,
I have.
if my suggestion works, then I could ask him to let you do it.
Well, at
And I
that
get
point,
my-
we
I
just
get my
suggest
spell
we
slot.
charm him.
Yeah. I mean, I get my spell slot back on a short rest.
You do. I was just pointing out that, like, rain saves are already very good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very good. I'm just trying to grease the wheels. If
Yeah,
that
yeah.
seems superfluous, then
No,
You
no,
don't
no.
do
You're.
that.
Let's try Bane number 2.
Yeah, one more time at disadvantage.
Alright.
I can technically do this 2 more times, but I mean, like,
That's better.
There we go.
There we go. You face a lot of resistance at first, but you dig in and you're able to get through his mental barrier.
Is he awake
Okay.
at this point?
I guess I don't know, does he have to be for Bane?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how spells
look
work
at
if
it.
somebody's unconscious in general.
Doesn't specify. It just says up to 3 creatures.
that you
Yeah.
see within range. Yeah.
I mean, you
Yep.
can use an offensive spell when someone's unconscious, so why not a mind one? You know?
So, but why did you do this? It just makes it so that way his attack rolls are less. Or a
And
saving throw.
And
Got it,
saving
got it, okay,
throws.
alright.
So everything going forward, an additional D4, which we desperately need, considering we know what he could do.
Yep.
Yeah, dude's rolling 26 total while unconscious. Like, we need a little help.
So-
I'm gonna give Orontis the wand of detect magic so that he can just keep detect magic up and
Okay.
like watch just in case anything happens.
Okay. So, what are we doing next? Suggestion or Charm Monster?
If he's unconscious, we are not. We are threatening, but we are not actively like we're gonna kill you. We're not fighting him. I think that's really what it's saying. It's like you can't use Charm Monster while in battle and get him.
Right, yeah, you're not currently in turn order, you're not in battle.
But I would say if he is currently unconscious, and we've already used Bane, let's use Charm Monster now. We've got him baned. We got a silvery barbs in the way, and then we calmly wake him up and be like, "Hey, buddy, you've had a day. Why don't we talk?"
It'll take a bit out of me, but I can try Charm Monster up to 3 times if it doesn't work the first time.
Hey, that's exactly how many silvery barbs I have.
Meant to be.
All right.
Alright.
Charm and Barb, let's do it.
Alright. First wave of trying to Charm Monster.
And he has a D4. Oh my dear lord.
Not gonna matter.
Yeah, the C4 is not going to do anything on that.
Well, here we go. There's one of the silvery barbs.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
Wow.
He's tough.
Hey, who
That's
wants
one.
the advantage?
I'll take an advantage.
I mean,
Actually,
assuming, yeah, assuming this works, and we'll have advantage no matter what. But assuming this doesn't work, it would be really helpful if 3 people had advantage.
Alright, with Silvery Barbs, you got 4 more chances at this.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
2.
Alright,
You know.
here's Atlas's number 2 before Silvery Barbs.
Motherfucker.
Jeez.
All right, silvery barbs too. I have 1 spell slot left, and then I can
man.
technically 5th level it.
I am impenetrable.
With Silvery Barbs! Oh.
My God.
If you roll a 20, I'm just gonna uninstall this game. I'm just gonna uninstall this game.
I feel really good that I'm doing this with you guys able to see it now, so you know I'm not fucking around.
Oh yeah, you get the satisfaction of us losing our shit.
Alright. Atlas is gonna say, he is very, very seems like his mental discipline is off the charts. I will try once more, but without this, Hunter, you're up next. Maybe the suggestion is what we've got left.
Are Atlas's saves 18 or 17?
That's a good question. 18.
Good,
Would
too.
that-
That's a good save.
Would that 22 have? Oh no, because ties go. He
Beats
would
it,
have beat
beats
it on a time. Yeah. Okay.
Even on the best Bane possible.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
In that case, let me try to get him to comply before using the last spell slot.
Okay, what's...
It says
It's
you need
gonna
to-
be even less likely for your thing, but...
I know, but it also gets us an extra shot at it.
That's true.
Like, either he allows us to, or he says no, and we try again anyway.
That's a good
It
point.
says that he has to hear you.
Right? Yeah.
So you
wake
would
him
be
up.
waking him up.
Yeah. Hey there, friend. Morning. Wake on up. Alright. There you are, bud. There you are. You good? You with us? I know. It's not ideal situation here, but we need to make sure you're calm and ready to talk before. Now, I recommend you let my friends do what they need to do. Just let them in. All right? And with that, I'm going to cast Suggestion. It's a simple 15 DC.
Charisma or wisdom?
That is
wisdom.
Wisdom.
Alright, he's slightly worse at that.
Oh! He's
Yeah, I
worse
was
enough.
fucking wrong. You fucking called it.
Oh man.
In my head, I'm like, what if he nat one's right now? Nat one's right now.
Thank you. That energy helped. It's all coming together.
My hater energy caused you to win.
All right. So we're good?
Yep. Atlas is gonna kind of pick up where you left off, and he is going to cast Charm Monster. And he's gonna let you do it, per your suggestion. So now he is charmed. He is friendly towards you for the next hour, unless one of you does anything harmful to him. And he will know that he was charmed in an hour.
Yep. That's
Okay.
alright. We got an hour to play.
With Aratus's Detect Magic, he will just, like, look over and nod, like, acknowledging that it worked.
Oh, and we already scanned nothing in his head.
Nothing in his
Yep,
head.
you already scanned. There's nothing in his head. Yep.
All right. Now my friend's gonna ask you some questions. Just let it all fall out, okay? Oh, right. Yeah. Gonna ungag him.
All right. What do you want to know?
So, Alar's gonna kind of step forward and say, "Hey, me again. Sorry about earlier. It was hectic. Would you believe that that guy was actually trying to kill you?"
Cerebro?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't as he has his own interests, don't really care about people he considers lesser than.
I
And-
don't blame him. I'm honored that he found me valuable enough to kill.
You are quite hardy, I will say. It was looking pretty dicey back there. But listen, I understand. You got a job to do. Listen, it could end the world, but we'll get back to that. Tell us, what do you do exactly? What is your job with Cerebro?
I've been helping him with his experiments, not only with learning how to access creatures remotely, but also experiments on building creatures and forming their minds and combining traits of various creatures.
To one end.
Well, my personal experience is I am fascinated by the science of it. And there are not many wizarding places that find such science acceptable. So for me, it was about the knowledge and the science. And Cerebro gave me the opportunity to do some of the best work of my life.
And that's what ultimately led to you finding the creature. The Charask, was it?
You have yourselves to thank for that one. Other flayers that I have encountered with don't have an appreciation for what exists on this plane. But something about your interactions with him inspired him to look into what this plane had to offer. And so we did much research together. And that is what ended up sparking the interest in the legends of the Tarask.
Well, we're very flattered that you would look up the World Eater because of a crazy weekend we had together. So he has it. Charask.
Oh yes, it took a lot of planning. But there's a lot of things you learn while in the ocean. For instance, if you want to catch a really big fish, you'll need a really big worm. And we had also discovered notes of how we could create such a worm.
What was the worm? And was a bird involved?
I'm a bird person.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't always like this, you know. The Raven Queen cursed me to look like this after she found some of what I was doing with the realm between death and undeath to be a bit unnatural.
What were you before this?
I was human.
So, the Raven Queen. How's she feel about the Tarask?
I don't know, I haven't seen her in quite a long time.
But it's a thing that can't be killed.
Yes, I've never asked her about it.
What if we could bring it to her?
Oh, please, no. No, seeing her before, I wanted to never see her again. In order to spare my life, I swore to never pursue lichdom again.
And have you kept that promise?
Yes!
Okay, good to know.
I have explored other means of prolonging life, but not lichdom.
Has Cerebro pursued lichdom?
No. But he is doing something to merge himself with the Tarask. So his essence will be in that body forever. He'll be like a god.
You mean like the possession he does, but on a permanent basis?
Yes, not possession, not remote, but fully integrated as himself inside this thing, a part of this thing. That is his ultimate goal.
Is that where his body is?
His body is elsewhere right now, while his new body, his part of his new body, the Tarask, is on its way towards a secret location that has the correct facilities we need in order to do the operation.
What secret facility is this?
Deep in the channel beneath the two continents, or between the two continents. The very heart of the Empire itself.
On the bottom of the ocean.
Yes.
You
The
know the
Tarask
teleportation
will,
circle?
The Tarask will bulldoze everything in its wake as it marks its way there.
I guess the Jurass doesn't have to hold its breath.
Not if you cast water breathing on it.
Anwar's gonna look to Rain. Okay, so his goal right now is to take the Trask he just acquired, to bring it to the heart of the Illithid Empire, the Aberrant Empire, and perform a surgery or an operation that will permanently fuse him to this gigantic kaiju god body and rule with it forever.
Yes. The Illithid are often, in my experience, obsessed with being influential enough to be noticed by the Great Old One. So many are so insignificant in comparison to such a great being. They strive for greatness beyond comprehension. Becoming a god-level titan might actually be enough for the Great Old One to truly notice him.
And then when he gets noticed by the Old One, just like pat on the back, a gold star.
Respect, I suppose. So, yes, a metaphorical pat on the back may
Of
indeed.
cosmic scale.
Yeah.
You said that Surgro's body is not currently with him. Where is he? Where is he really?
I don't know exactly where he is at the moment because he's in a vessel that can move. It's also impossible to detect its location, and it's able to be cloaked in invisibility.
When you say in a vessel, you mean like a jar? Like a person?
More like a ship that can go underwater and into the air. He calls it the Nautiloid.
Is that what we rode with him to Moltra?
I thought we took a
No.
normal ship.
Yeah, you guys just took a normal ship.
Okay.
And he's presumably on his way to the same laboratory, yes?
My understanding is the Nautiloid can teleport, so he might just, teleport there when the time is right. Until then, I have no idea where he is.
What can't this thing do?
Or are there
Do you-
like keys to this thing, or like how does it work?
I've never seen it myself, but he's talked about it to me.
Okay.
Do you know when the time will be right? When the Tarask is set to arrive?
Based off of my calculations, the Tarask is expected to arrive at its destination in roughly 10 days.
It's a round number.
I know, right?
I actually measured it out, and it is 10 days. I
Wow.
didn't mean for that. Didn't know what it would be till I did it. It just happens to be 10 days.
That's pretty perfect.
So right now he's in a subnautical marine.
Teleporting flying ship that goes invisible.
Yes. That I'm guessing can't be tracked anywhere.
Yo, we should get this thing.
Does
Well,
it come up for supplies?
or air.
It can
Or-
be in the air or the sea.
Could we? This is not to him. This is to the group. But like, could we potentially? I know it can teleport, but if he's waiting for the time to be right, can we get to the lab first?
In the heart of the Aberrant Empire.
My question stands. We can teleport.
Are there any teleportation circles you're aware of?
I don't know of any other teleportation circles.
How do people?
But with the machine where we were, you should be able to teleport there from that machine.
That makes
To
sense.
the Nautiloid?
To the lab.
Nautiloid, no. To the To the facility that the Tarask is currently on its way to, yes.
Oh, gotcha.
How do
Sounds
other
right.
people get there?
Get to the Nautiloid?
No, the lab. If it's so
Other-
far down, how was it even built in the first place?
The Illithid are underwater creatures. They have an entire city down there.
Oh, it's not just a facility.
No,
No,
it's
it's
a
a facility
society.
in.
It's the heart of the Empire.
Well, right, but that does not necessarily mean a city. It could just be a base of operations. Square, square, not a rectangle, but all rectangles, whatever that phrase is, you know what I mean? So,
Well, this
Now I
rectangle
know
probably
that's-
has thousands.
yeah, well, yes, now that I'm aware.
Oh, gotcha. Mm.
So we could find a way there, but we'll likely die.
Well, then the alternative is finding where Cerebro is. If we can't get there, then we have to intercept.
What were your standing orders if we were to come into the room? Like, what was the protocol for you?
We knew that somebody would likely. Once we saw the armies moving down, it was quite predictable that there would be some elite group who would try to take Fort Multra. Cerebro had a strong feeling you would be included in that, which you were. He either wanted to give you the chance to back off and let him do his thing, or if not, he wanted to see how you fought, which he did. He knows much of what you're capable of now. My orders were to give you a good fight.
So
he
you
watched
knew
us.
he sent you in to die.
To be honest, I thought that I would have a bit more backup.
So he let you down.
I was a bit disappointed had I known that I would not be getting the backup in time that I needed.
He
Oh,
did
I'm
have
sorry.
a devil body there that he
I
didn't use.
I
to
would have
help you.
would have handled that fight differently had I known.
Well, I'm sorry you were misled like that. It's not really fair. Not a good way to treat your people.
But it is
No.
in character with what Cerebro likes to do.
Yeah. I wish we could say this was a unique circumstance, but I think that's just how he does business.
I understand why he did it now. I
Oh,
must
we all
confess I am
understand why.
disappointed.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there.
And I will admit that we underestimated you. Especially that globe of invulnerability of yours. I thought my counter spells would be quite effective against you, and turns out they were not at all. But make no mistake, now that he's seen you fight, he will not make the same mistake that I did. He anticipated that you would grow in power, but you have gone even far beyond what he even thought.
I know this is a bit of a reach, but is there a world you can see where you join with us?
Yes, I would love to live from this situation.
Now, all right, I can appreciate that. What happens if you do live, and a week from now, you find yourself in a position where you're with us, and we're fighting some Empire folk, and you have the opportunity to turn on us? What does that look like?
Well, I think it would be in your best interest to give me a position where I can continue doing research and science, and if you don't trust me to be by your side in battle, then don't put me by your side in battle. Put me somewhere else. I'll be happy on an island doing research somewhere, hearing
fair.
all about how the rest of this goes.
Now, we'll say we don't have a whole lot of pull. In fact, some of our higher ups are a little little miffed with us and the way we conduct business, so no promises we can give. But I like the cut of your jib, so we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is that know, you're a pretty bright cookie, and you know that Cerebro sent you into a fight that you likely couldn't win. He felt that you were expendable, or more likely that you had served your purpose. So, really, your best option is to tell us everything we could possibly need to know to help stop him. Because he doesn't have any warm feeling towards you anymore.
I take your point that clearly I have outlived my purpose. He doesn't even need me to do the final not experiment, the final procedure, I will say. So
With
it's true, he
Therese?
doesn't. Yes, he has other people that can help him with that. Although it was a lot of my pioneering that helped him. But that being said, he doesn't need me anymore, so I suppose it would be a fun challenge to try to undo all that I have done, because at this point I don't even know if that's possible.
Well, how would you ever be able to figure that out?
I don't know, I haven't thought about it very long. But give me some time and maybe I could.
That's a unique challenge in and of itself.
You can ask the Raven Queen yourself if you have contact with her. Sometimes I fly too close to the sun and I get my wings clipped. But I make deals and I live up to them so I can live on and carry on research. My ultimate goal is to leave this plane with as much knowledge gained as possible. That's where my allegiance lies, is to science, to experimentation, not to people, not to causes. So you'll know that I'm telling the truth when I say that if you make it worth my while, I won't betray you.
Well,
I'm gonna roll insight.
Go for it.
Don't have a great insight. I mean, I believe him. I think he's on the level.
I mean, we're offering you your life right now. It's a pretty good deal considering the alternative.
I'll take it in exchange.
For helping
you
us
want?
undo
More
this.
What more can I do right now?
Help us find a way to stop the Tarask.
Okay. I'll need a bit of time, but if I've got 10 days, that should be enough.
I'm gonna kind of step aside to Atlas.
Yes.
Do y'all have a group where y'all could like bounce ideas with him and kind of a team to like pie in the sky kind of dream?
I could take him back to my order.
I
Let's
know
make
this
sure,
is a
let's make
needless
sure he
question.
continues to be bound and gagged and everything else when I take him there.
Right. I understand this is kind of a silly question, but like, it would be safe to do this, right? He wouldn't like disappear overnight.
Oh no, if I take him back to my order, things will be quite safe.
Right.
He will be well guarded.
All right, team huddle. I'll share that information What are y'all feeling on the matter?
We need every ally, tool, knowledge, anything we can. Because right now, we're facing down an unkillable monster being controlled by an unfindable creature, going to a place to ascend to God at an unreachable location.
So that's 1-4.
Not
Rain,
quite,
how are you feeling about this?
Not quite unreachable, but very dangerous.
Maybe unreturnable is the answer.
What if we just sent the bomb there?
Might be more complicated than that. I mean, like, how do you feel about working this friend here?
No, that's the point. If we detonate the bomb at the lab, we're able to get there, then is there any other place where he could do the procedure?
Okay, I misunderstood.
Are you asking that to Hilo?
Yeah. Is there any other place where he could do that procedure?
Not right now. No. It would set him back quite a ways. I mean, eventually he'd be able to rebuild, but that would set him back. It would royally piss him off.
But would you be able to do the work you need to do, with or without that establishment, that lab?
What exactly is it that you want me to do? I mean, if you want to sabotage, then if you have a bomb, then yeah, that'll do it.
That's one step, though. That doesn't stop him. That doesn't
Yeah,
find-
I thought your
Can't
purpose was to. I thought your
You can-
purpose with us was to figure out the Tarask problem. Now, if we can blow up that lab, and that ain't exactly a you-centric solution there.
Well, I can tell you that we used the worm to be used as bait to get the Tarask, so we could get inside the Tarask. Because you can't simply just dispel magic from outside of its extremely thick and hard shell. It's like going through solid stone.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. Are you able to noodle with people that are smarter than me, who are familiar with this kind of bullshit, or not? Because if I'm the one you're trying to convince, you're in some poor luck here. But if you're
Well,
useful to other people as smart as you, we might have use for you.
I mean, it seems like if there's anything to devise, it's to find another way to get inside the Tarask.
Could we make another worm?
Back at Fort Ultra, maybe it would take time. It took us months to grow it.
You don't have like a save file you can reload?
I don't know what you're talking about, kid.
Like a file that you save the worm on to like load it up? Again, like...
You raise creature. The worm starts as a little tadpole.
Oh,
And
okay.
you give it a whole bunch of growth hormones, and it keeps on growing and growing and growing until it reaches to a massive scale. It takes months to do so. You can't just do it overnight. There is no auto build feature.
How long do you think it would take Cerebro to make a new lab?
Gosh, for this type of thing he wants to do, if he got a whole bunch of flares under his control, I don't know, a month at least.
It's more than 10 days.
But also,
A lot of the lab features are somewhat organic. They take time to grow. It's not just as simple as constructing something. These tentacle things that they use, even the synthetic ones, they require organic energy. Their technology is different than ours. Sometimes it takes a while. It's not so easily replaced.
So in order to create the worm that we need the thing that we're gonna blow up to do it. Is that what I'm getting?
We should also probably assume that there's more than one location that he can do
Right.
this sort of work out of.
alright, that's what we asked. Can he do it elsewhere?
I'm not aware of anywhere else he could do it. However, I'm sure that there are other labs that would be a good head start that he could build from.
Yeah, it's like we need to give him information that's sensitive to Atlas and the Resistance in order for him to know if it's something he can help with. Or
I
if
have
we hold press pause on destroying that lab until he can get something going.
I have a question. You said that the technology is organic and it takes time to grow. What if it was sick?
Like, inject a virus into it or something?
Would it foil his plans?
Theoretically, I suppose. I don't know why you'd need to go that route if you have a bomb. But,
Well, a bomb buys us time, but he can grow another lab. If he doesn't know the lab is sick and uses it anyway, could it stop him?
I have thought every once in a while. They're quick thoughts. I take them out quite quickly as I don't want Cerebro to read them. But every once in a while, I do think of what would happen if somebody poisoned a brine pool and like made it sick in some way. Atlas is gonna look over to some of you guys. Just say, I believe we should have a little bit of a conversation in another room.
Side huddle.
Arantis, can you just keep an eye on him for now?
Affirmative. Both eyes are on him.
I'll pour him a glass of water, Helio. A glass of water. Thanks, you're doing great so far. Just hydrate and think about how you're going to help us.
Going over into another side room, back over the kitchen area. He's going to say, "That's what we did. That's how we killed the Elder Brain.
Poison him?
We poisoned the pool that he was in. We tried to do it in a way that was undetectable. So that way they would just lead to infighting and other things, not blame it on any of us. The thing just got sick and died."
Is that how they reproduce the brine pool?
It's a way it can kind of it's kind of like a conductor, a signal path, and it's also kind of rejuvenating all at the same time. It's kind of weird alien goo kind of stuff. But we did have somebody infiltrate in and just poison the pool, and that is how we were able to kill the Elder Brain that set all of this Illithid civil war into motion. So, yes, it is possible to do that. I don't have any knowledge of it working on the technology they had, but it did work on the brain.
Well, it sounds like it's possible and a question mark, but if it's already been done before, surely Cerebro knows to look for it.
That is the unfortunate side of that, yes.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but right now we have 3 potential targets. We have Cerebro on the sub that can fly, or sink, or swim, or turn invisible. We have...
And it's currently seeming like it has non-detection magic with it, too.
and cannot be detected. We have a Tarrasque, a monster the size of a mountain that is invulnerable, unkillable, and invincible.
And currently plowing its way through the continent to get to the ocean in between the continents, yep.
And then we have a lab, which is on the bottom of the ocean, in the heart of Aberrant Empire territory, which, if I'm to be understood, it's like a city, correct? It's where the breach point was?
Yep.
So the strongest part of the entire empire, where we would have no backup. It would just be if we were to teleport directly there. Assuming we could teleport directly there and not miss and be on the bottom of the ocean and crushed by pressure. We would be there to find I'm assuming, heavily guarded lab.
Well, based on the non-detection part, it sounds like we really only have two options. So do you want the one that involves fighting the mountain-sized monster, or the one that involves going to the heart of the Empire to, I presume, poison a brine pool?
Well, I had one fault. We have 3 targets, and we have 1 rock, the bucket. We know that at some point, all 3 targets are going to be in the same location. It would be risky, but if we were to be there in 10 days, when we know that Cerebro will be there, and the Tarrasque will be there, and the lab will obviously be there, if we are able to arm and detonate the bomb then, we could take out, potentially, all 3.
I don't know if it would be enough to kill the Tarrasque, but it could wipe out everyone else at the very least, and hopefully shock the Tarrasque enough to go back underground.
At least then it'll just be a Tarrasque on the bottom of the ocean.
Correct. And if they don't breathe, I don't even know what sort of existence that would be for the Tarrasque, you know?
Can we reprogram these masks? The ones that make us look like Imperial guards? Can we reprogram them to make us look like something else that would make sense to be moving around in that kind of locale?
Squids?
No, if we were squids, we would still have some sort of thoughts. It might be better to look like sentries than mask our thoughts.
Can we look like sentries? Can we reprogram that then?
Sentries are like 12 feet tall.
What if we sit on each other's shoulders?
I think you would need something other than those little masks. At that point, you might as well just start a whole new magic item from scratch.
Because the guards wouldn't be prevalent there, right?
The cultist people?
Mhm.
You don't know.
Would our friend know?
I guess Atlas might know. The whole cultist things with the masks are kind of for show. Much of what goes on the outskirts of the Empire is more propaganda. They wouldn't do it in the heart of the city itself. Those things don't need masks. They just look like that.
So is there anything that would be around in the city that maybe wouldn't produce thoughts that we could blend in with, that we could imitate?
There are thralls that are fairly mindless, most in the form of sea elves like myself.
Slaves.
We prefer to say thralls, but yes.
Probably not very common where we need to get going. It would still look strange.
Might be able to get to various parts of the city, but the lab itself, probably not.
I don't know. I mean, it might be a stepping stone, right?
Could be.
Go in looking like something that would fit in the general area, then maybe we turn invisible to get deeper in.
Let me see if he knows minor illusion. He does! He will make a little illusion of what basically look like sea elves in wetsuits that go about to the arm and about halfway down the thigh.
Like Surfer Zoras.
Kinda, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
this is what the thralls look like. And also, like, the blueness in them is kind of pale, and they look quite thin and underfed. Like, even for elves, they're, like, pretty darn thin.
Emaciated.
Yeah.
It's an idea, y'all. I don't know.
Something a bit more foolproof than the standard let's go wear a disguise.
I mean,
So you still have to get into the lab.
oh, absolutely. I'm not arguing that. But I mean, bless you. Something where we could at least hide if shit goes wrong. Hide in plain sight. Something where we can kind of figure out the lay of the land while we're there. Like I said, stepping stone. It ain't the golden key.
Whatever it is, the stakes are high enough that we should plan it out over a period of time. Let's not rush into deciding anything. I think all ideas. Okay, I won't say all ideas are good ideas, but let's just say there are no bad ideas right now. I think any ideas outside the box are valid until we form a plan. It sounds like we have a bit of time if that's what we want to do. I also have other resources at my disposal. It doesn't have to be your only group. While your group was off on this mission, plenty of other groups were at various other parts of the globe working on their missions as well. I've yet to check in to see if they were successful. But you might not have to go in alone.
Atlas, do you have anything like this Nauticus vessel at your disposal?
The Nautiloid?
Yes.
We have things that do bits of both. We have... There's one region where they have an airship, but and the airship can turn invisible because it needs to stay hidden from the Empire. We do know someone who has a crab-like submarine vessel that also can turn invisible. Nothing with non-detection magic. Nothing that can teleport.
Guess we are huffing it down there. But I imagine the defenses getting through there would be harrowing. I'm sorry.
Sorry, wasn't able to hear much of that.
I'm guessing that the defenses going down there to the bottom of the ocean would be intense.
I believe it would, yes. Based off of everything we know.
Do we know anyone who's ever been there?
Yeah, it's where the breach started. Has Atlas been to the area?
Since then, we do have a special team. The team that poisoned the Elder Brain. They're the only team who's made it there and back again to tell the tale.
And there is the Fort Maltra control room. For getting us there as well. I will say, we've had a lot of folks who've only been there and back again in this campaign so far, so that may be the thing to do again, right? I mean, that's what we did with Castle Hill, that's what we did with Maltra, so... You know?
If they would be expecting a poisoning, could we do something? Could we make it seem like they intercepted a poisoning while we were actually trying something else? So they think, good job, we did it. Leaves us a window.
Could be a good misdirect. The last time we did the poisoning, it took a few days for it to fully go into effect. That's why, so far, I like your bomb idea much more.
What if we do both? Bomb not the lab, but the location, and poison the lab. It would be in disrepair enough that it wouldn't be if we could leave it in such a way that it could just be used and perhaps not looked over. Could be enough to mask it.
But they were able to get around the poison, right? Like they found it and then got rid of it.
I mean, the poison's a red herring, right? So if they're
Uh-huh.
if they catch us, well, if they catch the poisoning, that's good because it's a misdirection, right?
I feel like something else
No,
would be
the
the red herring
other
and the
way
poisoning
around.
would be real.
Yeah, because
Oh.
my idea with the poisoning is if Cerebro hooks himself up to a poison thing to transfer himself into the Tarask, he kills himself.
Or if we nuke him, then he'll kill himself from being nuked.
Both
Yes,
are
the
good, but
nukes-
one
the-
does not require us to be there.
The nuke, as you call it, I don't know why you call it a nuke.
Oh, it's my
But-
acronym. It's New Utilitarian Kinetic Explosion.
Oh, okay. But the nuke, yes, it seems much more instantaneous and effective than poison.
And also would cause. I mean, how big is the
Louder.
capital city?
It's quite big. Our understanding is it's kind of like a round shape. It's like multi-layered.
I don't know. I don't know how big it is comparatively
It's like a
speaking,
big wheel at the bottom of the ocean.
but I would also deal a pretty heavy blow to the What happens if
Yes,
you detonate it?
whatever we do with this, we'll still need to use all of our efforts to wipe out what's left of the Empire. I'm not sure how much of this I explained to you. Perhaps I wanted to keep it from you, or maybe I told you. I can't remember. Shh, the DM can't remember. While you were on this mission simultaneously, there were other groups out there, each trying to take out key Illithid people who were rising up as power players. I've yet to hear how many were successful. Unfortunately, our group was not. But there is a lot happening at the same time. So you will potentially have allies if you need them. It's important overall that just everybody does their own part. If everybody does their part, we will eradicate this empire. I think it is important that we all continue to move swiftly. So if there are 10 days, I cannot just stay with you for 10 days. I have other things I need to do. And if there are things that you are willing to do over the next 10 days, then maybe we should put you to work. There's also just the concern of what can happen in 10 days.
This is also assuming that Cerebro doesn't retaliate in those techniques.
I'm quite worried about Cerebro's retaliation. He seemed quite angry at you.
He did make it sound like he would kill us if we opposed him. And if
But
he's
more
got
than... Sorry. More than that, if we don't attempt to stop him, I worry Cerebro will actively try to seek us out because he'll rightfully assume we're planning something.
he has almost a fortnight, he has every reason to eliminate us between now and then.
It'd be a great time to fake our deaths.
Who would believe it? Who could
Yeah.
kill you at this point?
Right? We're too stubborn to die. That's what I keep telling people.
Would you believe that a bush
Honestly,
almost killed us once?
The
Sorry?
only people I truly believe would kill you all at this point. The only believable scenario I can see is the big three.
I love these segments where Sid is yelling at the muted camera. Like, she knows we can't hear, but she's just venting. I love it.
Honestly,
Over here,
at
like,
this point,
oh, we don't need the fucking big three.
honestly, at this point, I'm not really worried about them.
I mean, but if we can get them to spread the word that we've been killed due to insolence and incompetence,
Or that you posed a great enough threat to Mazadon that he wanted to take you out.
yeah. I mean,
Wouldn't be
the only
first time
problem
we
with
pissed
that,
one of them off.
right? Of course. The only problem with that is if Cerebro wanted to check on that, then they'd find us.
We are not indetectable.
Correct. If he wants to
Right.
find us, he can find us.
Yeah.
He could be looking at us right now.
Well, if it works like my music, we'd at least feel him.
If it comes to faking our deaths or your deaths, every time we've tried to smart a mind flayer, it almost always backfires. The poisoning of the Elder Brain was one of the few things that actually worked.
Underthink them.
I'm just saying, they're not easily fooled.
You know, Hunter, you say that as a joke, but honestly, the one thing that has consistently foiled the Flayers is that because they are so smart, they don't think that we can actually do what we try to do. Sheer perseverance and will has done a lot.
So we think of what the logical step would be, and then say, fuck that, let's do this instead.
Not quite.
Is that
but
the new game? That's the new game plan, let's do it!
I'm saying if we pick something and just do it, that's something done. Even though they're smart and can prepare, if something happens, it happens.
Alright. So we got some vehicles in play. We've got potential to poison the waters. We can blow some shit up. That's all on the table.
If we want to find Cerebro ahead of time, I do like the idea of blowing them all up at the same time, but I still worry that that's cutting it very close to not leaving much room for error. What if he succeeds?
It's the major flaw.
We have two other options, I see. One is find a way to provoke him into revealing himself. Something that might be easier said than done. And the other option, Anwar, I know you'll hate me for saying this.
Oh my god.
We use Wish to...
That's your solution for everything.
It's a really good frickin' hand.
You say that, but the consequences make it not a good hand.
Potential consequences.
There are always consequences.
That's fair. Well, I'm out of options. We either get him to reveal himself, or we use magic powerful enough to reveal him.
Okay, hear me out. How about this? Since we're on that train of thought already, we have a friend who has a very potent ritual that can see into the mind, send people into basically the soul of a person. We've been using it to, what's a nice way of saying it?
Help people.
Yeah, help people. Rain kind of got jumbled with her multiple personalities. Keon had a fragment of Octavius into her.
My uncle got over
And-
his shell shock.
Well, it turned out he had a fraction of Cerebro in him as well, torturing him.
Mm.
And even Hunter, we were able to use it to get out of a binding deal with the witch. It's kind of a handy ritual, honestly. It can do a lot.
Okay, how does that help us find Cerebro?
Well, so I spoke to him, Agonizing, and he told me, well, first of all, he told me he wasn't always a genie. He was a person. Genasi.
Sure, he- Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't think he was always like that. There are ways of helping people.
So you're saying that you are in favor of... using
I'm not
Agonizing.
saying that. I'm saying under a very specific set of circumstances where if we're able to meet on Agonizar on his level, help him overcome his demons, maybe we could get an ally out of this, as opposed to a time bomb, as opposed to our other bomb. If we could turn Agonizar to our side, using this ritual, as well as maybe some redeeming magic from the becoming, maybe he would willingly give us the power and the guidance we need to find Cerebro. And we would help someone at the same time.
If that is an option that leads you to being comfortable with using the wish, then I think that's an option we should keep on the table.
I think it's worth a shot. Because otherwise, if we use the wish and Agonizar gets free, that's another target on the board we need to be worrisome of.
Of the genie that Mazadon has.
Also that.
I mean, that gives us 10 days to get in Agonizer's mind and come back out of it. Make sure everything's good and gravy.
I do think we need to be doing things during those 10 days. If we could have forces doing small attacks and running from the Tarask, an effort to show that we are trying to stop it, so that Cerebro is annoyed but occupied. And I am wondering if there's some way that we can block his signal from reaching it remotely. That would also cause him to, at the very least, find a way around our block, if we could create some sort of a device, or to reveal himself.
Now that's something that Hilo might be able to help with. He helped design... It sounded like he helped design the things that allowed for remote control access. He might have a way where he could disrupt it. Of course, then we have a raging Tarask on our hands, but one problem at a time.
Exactly.
Say a raging monster is marginally better than a completely under control but evil monster.
I agree.
Marginal.
Slightly better if we sever the connection when the Tarask is in the water.
People go back to sleep.
So, we're down one. Lost the poor soul Cinder. But that does mean we now have room to take him with us if I were to take you all to my order. Speaking of, do we have any idea what happened to him? Did he disintegrate? Did he... Oh wait, who... Oh, I think it was Cerebro himself who said that he was likely banished to some other plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we had
Well,
an opportunity to try to reach out to him or no?
We tried sending to him. I think it was blocked. We tried scrying to him.
Gotcha.
We didn't try sending to him.
Yeah,
we
you didn't try sending. Sending only has a chance of not working. It can work, but scrying did not work.
Yeah, we tried scrying and it didn't. Yeah, because you can't do it on the. We could try sending, but I don't know how many spell slots Audra actually has. In fact, that may have been the reason we couldn't.
Give me that one more time.
Do you have any level 3 slots left?
I have 2. I burned on my. I burned 1, 3, 1, 2, all my 4s, on my 5s, but otherwise I'm good.
Yeah, I was gonna wait until we wrap this up, but Anwar does want to ask Helio about where the other line claims are.
Okay.
Where the other what are?
The other us.
Oh, okay.
Audra, could you do sending to Cinder?
What do you want me to say?
Hey, Cinder. Hope you're not dead. Please respond. Tell us where you are.
Maybe, hey Cinder, trying to find you. Are you safe?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay. Richard, that's what I send. Hey Cinder, how are you? We're trying to find you. Hope you're safe.
Alrighty. Roll a d20, please.
Okay. Flat?
Flat. It has a 5% chance of failing, so if you get a
11.
nat 1, alright, it goes through. Now I will roll a nat 20 to see if it comes back to you. Alright.
Saw that one, right?
So, you hear back. Hi, I believe I'm on the elemental plane of fire. I think the Brass City's off in the distance. I'm gonna go towards it. I fingers crossed. I hope you were all fine. I hope no one died. At some point, like, the 25 words cuts out.
Is that good or bad?
Okay. Can I, Richard, can I insight ascending just because, you know, he betrayed us? Just want to make sure this is on the up and up.
Sure. You can roll to insight it.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
made it down.
betray us.
22.
He seems like kind of back to his self that you knew him as before.
Okay, so truthful answer.
Is it a good thing? It's a good thing that he's a fire genasi.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a... What do I know about the city of Brass? I feel like Anwar would be a real nerd when it comes to the city of Brass and the fire. I mean,
I believe that.
Yeah, the spell says that if they're native to another plane, it goes there, and I think that's the closest thing, so I think that's where he'd end up going.
Gotcha.
I do this split one. Hopefully finds a way back. Otherwise, he'll likely become a troll. And Armor says that we have the situation.
Are you able to send us there? Do you have, like, weekend pass or something?
No one's got any plane shift stuff.
No one knows how to get to the Brass City?
Basically a child's tale up until about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, is Anwar just geeking out right now hearing that info?
He's like, oh, wow, that's what I always wanted to go there and have my, like, you know, heritage trip. Glad that it exists. Also terrifying that it exists from what I've heard. There's a lot of angry people in the plane of fire. A lot to think about. I'll have to come back to me. At least he's alive. For now.
Anything else you guys want to do before you start your long rests?
I'd like to ask Helio where the others are.
They're with Cerebro. He keeps them close. So they're also on the nautical, I would think.
Say he got another one of me.
Yes, he did. Gonna like who?
What?
He really didn't like that you took one from him. So he took something from you.
Is that
Elaborate.
It's your sister.
he took my sister?
Yes.
Insight?
Go for it. Nat 20. As he says this, you get a flashback to when your parents said that one day she just left a note on the table that she was going away. Didn't even like have a full saying goodbye, anything like that, just a note left by her. And everything's clicking into place like, oh shit. Yeah, I believe this 100%.
I, a player, thought that this was a real possibility, but I feel like Anwar, the character, would be devastated by this news. He is like, I think he falls back, and he's like hunched over in disbelief, having like a panic attack at the news of this.
Arantis just like immediately leans over. Do you require assistance? Are you okay?
I need some air. And he's gonna go outside and he's gonna immediately vomit everything in his stomach.
Arantis just looks at everybody else like, I don't know what to do. Does he have enough air?
Give him a moment.
I'll continue to stand watch. Does anybody go out to him, or does everybody just give him some space?
I think Hunter's gonna wait a beat and give him 10-15 seconds to kind of like be there.
Recover
check.
from vomiting.
Yeah.
You don't just want to give him the space for the moment, Hunter?
I think he needs a beat, and then he's gonna need to vent or brainstorm. Might
Okay.
need to throw spaghetti. I don't know, but
Okay.
Keon's gonna kind of go over to Chimera. and
I'll
she's
read the
gonna-
room.
She's gonna say like, does that mean she's like I was? Oh no! And she immediately just gets like really upset and just flashing back to so many things that she experienced and imagining Opal going through all of these experiences as well.
Well, Hunter closes the door behind him. That was a lot. This might be too soon, but how do you want him to die?
Are you talking to Anwar?
Oh yeah,
How do I what?
never
Ooh.
mind. How are you doing? What's going on in your head right now? I know it's a lot.
I should have known intelligence. No. I can't believe I'm so stupid.
You're not stupid, man. You've had so much to think about. It could have fallen through the cracks at any time. Any one of us would have dropped that. We're gonna make it right. You know that, right?
That's the thing, is that he's got her exactly He's using her as a literal shield.
But we know that now. That's a piece on the board we're aware of. That's something.
Better. You have to think harder. I can't believe it let this happen.
Alright. This is Cerebro we're talking about. I'm gonna say something. Might sound stupid. But just follow me on this. We need to think less. He's a big plans guy. He knows you're a big plans guy. He knows you're smart. He knows just how smart you are. He's gonna expect you to jump through a bunch of hoops. He knows you're gonna think of 5 different ways to do it right. He's gonna set something in line to make sure none of that works. What is your most ridiculous, stupidest plan?
Mhm.
Use Agonazar to get my sister back.
Oh, that's crazy shit, man. Whew. I mean, hell, it's all there, right? He knows you wouldn't do it. Agonazar, that's Aggie's blood right there.
Need to find a way to get him upset. A real one.
Yeah, I agree.
But I do think he'll do it. We gotta fix that genie. To save my sister.
All right. I'm with you, man. Anything you need, let me know.
I'm just gonna do a big hug.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
Just kind of
What's Chimera doing over with Keon while they're doing this?
Actually, very briefly, I actually have a question
Okay.
for you. So, leading up to us finding where Keon was, there was a level up, and Chimera was able to hone in on the direction that she was in.
Mm-hmm.
If I reached out to somebody who is really good at hunting things down, would I be able to maybe hone in that hunting instinct towards Cerebro?
Maybe? I don't know. I think
Not specific
That-
location, but I was able to
yeah, but
triangulate
the direction. Yeah.
a direction.
Yeah. So what would you do exactly to shift that power over someone
So
else?
one of the super cool gods that you have listed is Fenris the Chill Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Relentless and unyielding, his devotion to Arl driving him to pursue his quarry to the ends of the world. Obviously, I can't be like, hey, why don't you go hunt this fucker down? But if I make a request or an exchange or pay money,
You can try.
tight. We'll try that later. I was just curious because I was staring at that for a little bit. Yeah, I think in the moment, maybe Chimera is thinking those similar thoughts. Like, hey, I was able to do this once, maybe we could do this again. But also just holding on to her daughter.
And then cutting over to Atlas, Audra, and Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas is like, well, I guess it's just the blue crew now.
Well,
Uh,
we do share the same pigment.
It's a lot of intense emotions here. I'm wondering if I should calm them.
No.
Just let them ride the wave.
Yes. I've found that Anwar's usually okay in time. He just needs that time to think. He's a thinker, right? Makes his plans, goes after them. I tend to be a bit more impulsive. So when we were talking about potentially faking deaths with the big three, it wouldn't be too hard to do that with our history. And well, in terms of these things we're planning, I made a promise, a very important promise to someone, not to die, not to go on any sort of suicide, well, not to have a death wish. Going on suicide missions is kind of part of ideal now. So, just thinking about how I'm gonna come back from this next one alive. Because every scenario sounds very dangerous. Although some seem more suited to my skills than others.
Somebody once told me life is just finding one way not to die over and over again.
I agree with that, but it's very macabre.
And Rain, how are you doing?
Just taking it all in. I'm not sure what we need to be doing, but I'm making a list. She's literally writing things down.
Well, I think it might be time for us to get some rest. There are many days ahead.
Perhaps.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
And in the morning, you mentioned taking us all to your order.
I could do that, yes.
Might not be a bad idea, especially if that group that infiltrated the Empire before is there. We could at least talk to them.
And
Get
I do
something
have an
going.
associated object, so I can always get back there without fail.
Well, that's hopeful.
It is. Alright. Shortly after that, you just hear seriously, you guys charmed me? Come on now, I'm a logical guy. You could have just talked sense to me.
I'd like to roll either a persuasion check. I'll go in and start talking to him. Well, I'm so glad we can fade off like into it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine we wouldn't have just gagged him again after we were done talking to him, you know?
Aratos would just be like, I don't know what to do! Alright, with that, we'll go on bio break. And
Alright.
we'll pick up after that.
Alright, where's my break screen?
Making a list
Ooh,
of things that we
there
have
it
to
is.
do,
Alright,
can
be right
do.
back.
Alright, be right back.
All right, we're back.
Oh my
Alrighty.
God.
So how are you guys doing? First watch, second watch, all that kind of stuff for the night ahead.
I would actually like to take a watch with Chimera, please.
Okay.
No, I got swallowed today. I'm going to bed.
That's why I want to talk to you.
Fair. Do we want to go first?
I'm good with second or last watch.
How's
at
your
some-
perception? My perception's really balls, and I never roll good enough
I got a
For the-
passive 20.
for the watch.
I'm a +3.
Atlas will say, I only require 4 hours of trance, so I can help watch quite a bit. And Arantis is like, yes, I can help too.
Well, then maybe we don't take a watch and we just hang out in the living room for a few minutes.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, Arantis and Atlas will be like, we'll take the middle, so that way everybody's got at least a good amount of solid, core REM sleep in the middle of everything. Keone, I guess is fine with pairing up with anybody else who would like to be with her, but yeah.
We have enough people. She could probably just go to sleep.
Yeah.
If she wants to, then Keone and I can grab the late shift.
All right. So first shift with I'm just gonna pair everybody up, even though of course you're gonna find beds and stuff like that. But that way I just remember. We have
I will
Audra
say,
and Chimera,
Before we start
Keone and
the
Hunter.
night,
Mhm.
Rain does have a 5th level slot in case somebody wants to dream.
I haven't dreamed alternate hunter in a while.
Do we know if it'll work this round?
Hmm.
If
he's
old
alive.
boys got them down on lock, though, on top of it?
It's not a divination spell, so technically it does not. It's not affected by non-detect. So it's possible. The other question would
mean-
just be: is he awake or sleeping or not?
Right.
Yeah.
But you can tell that doing the spell.
I mean, if
You
no one
can't
else
tell.
has-
You just go into a trance for 8 hours, and if they go to sleep, then the dream works.
Oh, okay. But you can wait until then if they're not asleep right away.
Well, I mean, you'll be in the trance for the 8 hours, and then
So I could do that for the first,
Oh my god.
until my shift, basically.
if you wanted to take the dream,
I mean, if no one else wants it, it's a spell slot on the table.
Is Rain able to get a long rest while casting that?
yeah, it's one action to cast, and it's not concentration.
So if you want to try to do that, you can.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Cast Dream on Hunter, and he promptly just falls over.
Okay. Keone's like, okay, well, I guess I'll.
The beginning of the night. So it's since Keone and I would take third watch, I've got hours to go anyway, right?
Well, is he out for 8 hours or just? I guess
you
he
can
can
stop
choose
it
to
at
end
any
it.
time. Yeah.
All right, so Hunter and Keon will go at a different time then. And I guess that would leave Rain and Anwar. All right, so starting with Chimera and Audra, what do you two got going on while you're doing first watch? Kind of looking at about. First of all, I'd like some perception checks from both of you.
Okay. All right, well, about the same.
Nice.
As you're kind of looking all around, you're feeling confident so far that there's not any major dangers. That you kind of look outside, you see that there are some other people kind of patrolling and stuff, and it looks the little town is quite quiet, as it looks like a lot of people are resting up to venture off into battle mode again the following day. But you got a few guards with torches, just kind of every once in a while,
Okay.
walking around, just patrolling. But everything seems calm right now.
I think as a watch activity, she's probably blocking out that tapestry that she promised.
Hmm.
So she's just kind of like working on what it might look like, just like writing down what kind of colors and dyes, like a shopping list sort of thing. So she's probably posted up at a table.
Okay. Kamira, I'm just curious about something from today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not often that you require my healing when we're in a battle. And today was, if you'll forgive me, probably the most harrowing time you've had in any of our battles. And I'm just going to say it this way. I've never seen you look so drained from a battle before. It's not a sight I'm
I was
used
swallowed.
to. Right. We have all gone down before. You have not. This is the first time I've seen you deal with that sort of thing, and I'm just wondering how you're feeling. Because if something was strong enough to take you down after all we've been through, it gives me pause about what else we still have to face before this is over.
I'm doing the very healthy thing of compartmentalizing that event, but mostly I'm just kicking myself because I shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. But I was, because I was worried about punching that ugly bird with the ring on, and so I was... Anyway. Probably doing better than I should be doing for now. Will probably change when I try to sleep this evening or something. You know. Why? Are you okay?
I just wonder about what I could be doing better to help people in these situations so that you're not being
darling,
swallowed.
You couldn't have helped that. That was on me.
Maybe not.
Don't worry your head about that one.
You know, I made that promise that I would come back alive from these things. But I want to make sure others do too, you know?
And that is a lot of weight to carry. And it's a whole lot of people to be carrying it for. I think you've done very well.
Thanks. It's just tough
And
sometimes,
again,
you know? I am the healer, as
I
has
mean,
been called
when
out
Hunter...
many times.
When Hunter goes running off and when I do what I did, it's no fault of yours but ours. You can only be so many places at once.
That's why I usually stick Hunter with those wings, so at least he can come back once.
Oh, is that what that does?
Yes.
It's a handy tool. He seemed quite willing to immediately jump back into battle as soon as we got out of there.
Yeah, it's really meant to be more of an escape hatch than a reason to keep fighting, but I won't tell him how to do his job, because he does plenty that none of the rest of us could do. I don't know how he always manages to find the weak point when he's fighting, but it helps us a lot.
He just has a knack for it.
I guess. You don't necessarily find the weak point, you just hit things a lot until the weak point doesn't matter.
That's the ticket.
Yeah. Well, I know you got swallowed today, but I'm glad you, didn't stay in there.
Because of you.
Well, I wasn't the one that got you out, but at least kept you alive while you were in there.
Which is exactly what you set out to do. You can only help people so much as they are able to help themselves. If I stayed in there, that wouldn't have been your fault.
This is true.
To a degree, we are all responsible for our being here. If something happens, it will not be on you.
You're right. But I just don't want anything to happen. I suppose none of us do.
All we can ask of you is for you to do your best.
Yeah. That is all I can do.
That's all any of us can do.
Yeah.
Especially going into whatever we're doing.
Yeah, whatever it is.
How do you
Try
spell
not
cerulean again?
How do you spell cerulean?
Cerulean. I'm trying to get my colors that I need.
Cerulean?
EA. There it is.
I was not paying attention to the letters as I listed them out, so I don't know if I actually spelled it right there.
I think you got awfully close, if not correct. Either way, darling.
I never won the spelling bees back at the STEM Garden Academy.
Thankfully, we don't need you for spelling.
No. We would do very poorly with that.
Well, we're all working together on this.
It's true.
And again, all we can do is our best.
Yeah. Just, if you can help it, don't get swallowed again. Because I can't do...
I will try.
I can only do so much when you're in there. I'm gonna...
Have you called,
Yes.
have you called your mother, though? Briefly, real quick, call your mother.
I can do that. I still have the magic for it.
All right.
For the record, I think probably of the party, Rain's the best speller. It would be my guess. Rain would be the best speller.
Probably.
Anwar would obviously be the best mathematician.
All right. So before you go to bed, do you send to your mother?
Nah, she can deal. No, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I do.
Call your mom!
No, I do.
What do you say to her?
Yeah, just, hey, Mom, it's me. Hey, Mom, it's me. We finished that dangerous mission. And I know I said it would be the last one. But there's one more.
You do not get a response back. That might just be because she's sleeping.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess she's
I was about to be
asleep.
like, Cerebro took his mom.
You hear. I'm also in the plane of fire.
You don't know why, but you don't get a response back. Maybe you will in the morning. Who knows? I don't know how it works.
Well, it can't be in the morning because you got to respond within a couple seconds, I think. But Audra will just assume she's asleep, so it's all good.
All right. With that, Arantis and Atlas will take over. And sorry, what was that?
Just for the sake of shit, before Kamira goes to bed, she's gonna check on all the kids.
Okay.
Like, hey, we're gonna make sure Anwar has his glasses off, and like Hunter isn't like hugging his sword to bed, and just like going and checking to make sure everybody's good before going and finding a place to sleep.
Kamira's being a good mama. All right, so you guys do that, and then Hunter, you had been going into a dream thing, but it seems like your counterpart is not sleeping because you do not reach him. In fact, you're kind of in this void. And then next thing you know, there's Rain. And then there's Anwar. And then Chimera and Audra. The 5 of you are together. And then Cerebro appears in a monstrous form only seen to Anwar so far. And here's some music for that.
You son of a bitch. It's a MeUndies ad. Very comfortable, fun prints. I can't show you or we'll be
Wait, did I
demonetized.
also get the... No, I got a Victoria's Secret ad.
Nice.
The internet knows I'm
Okay.
going back to Brazil
Here
soon,
we are.
apparently.
So, Cerebro floats in high from above, looking down at all of you. He says, "Why do you persist? Why do you keep on betraying me at every moment? I've given you every chance to just go live your lives in peace and let me do my thing. But no, you insist on meddling in. Well, I told you there were consequences. Now you can see them for yourself." And he summons up a big mirage of various images. The first one you see is right outside of the big palace area where Caleb lives. You see a cloaked tiefling sneaking through the nearby woods, seeing up to a window, traveling through the shadow up 60 feet over to the window, looking in and seeing Caleb. He disguises himself as Hunter and then goes through the window, goes up to Caleb, and immediately stabs right through the chest. And Caleb looks up in horror, looking up at Hunter's face. And Hunter, or the kind of Hunter, just stares back, covers his mouth, and stabs a bunch more times. We cut over to Audra's mother's house. And we see
Oh, no. Dude,
somebody
come
who
on.
looks
I've only
very
got
much,
so many left.
very much like Audra, goes up to the front door, uses her big weight and size to just push into the door. You hear her mom start to come out of the bedroom door, being like, "What? Audra, is that you?" Audra flings out 3 bolts of Eldritch Blasts, and they pummel her, and she gets knocked back into the wall, falls over, and looks up. She's like, "Audra, why?" And Audra just comes up and stabs her right through the heart, and that light just leaves her eyes as she falls down.
Sid,
cut
why? Why did
over.
you have to say call your mother?
Cut over to the Marwan family. In opens the door is Opal, your sister. And up late, working on some new, jotting down some new sketches. Anwar's father is there at the table, like, "Oh, Opal, you're back. So good to see you." She pulls out a lightning launcher. Just totally zaps him, falls down to the ground. You hear Shula coming from around the corner. Michelle? Then bam, bam, again, 2 more bolts of lightning launcher. She falls down. Then cut to outside in the courtyard area of STEM Garden. You see a bunch of the town in flames. Various guards are going around trying to figure out the source of this. Someone comes up to, we've got Helga, the leather worker, comes up to Chimera He's like, Chimera, Anwar's gone freaking nuts. He's gone crazy. Something's going on. I don't know if they hacked his mind or whatever it is, but Anwar's freaking laying siege to the city. We gotta stop him right now. And Chimera just turns around and just kind of gives a little bit of a smirk, pulls out a sword, immediately starts fighting her. Flash to a whole bunch of different people fighting in the streets. It's the 4 evil versions of these people against the 4 weekend warriors. It's almost like a rematch of that first time that you fought. And one by one, they all go down. They are no match for you guys at this point. And finally, Cerebro, after showing you all of this, looks down to Chimera and says, "Oh, don't think I forgot about you. I've seen many things through the dull eyes of Cinder, and I learned many things about you, including the fact that your son is still alive, which I must admit I find quite surprising given the fact that I was the one who killed him." Flashes another mirage of little Jeff just like walking forward with the little bomb heading towards the temple, and then you see Cerebro walk out of the temple, see it, and telekinetically just and trigger the bomb. And don't think that I couldn't do it again. You still have someone to live for. And so do you, Anwar. Your sister's still here. Hunter, you've got people. You've got your psychologist. You've got other people you must care about. Audra, you still have an uncle that I know where he is now. And Rain, I bet you just hate to see the world burn. So, maybe you'll realize that I'm serious. That if you fuck with me, I will destroy all of you. But I'm not gonna go after you first. No, I'm gonna keep on taking all the things you love. And then, after you've lost everything, then I will come for you. And with that, he goes from this, what is already quite a monster version of himself compared to what you've seen before. He starts to morph into a gigantic frickin' Tarask. And with that, I need wisdom saves from everybody.
From everybody? Not
Yep.
just me?
He cast
We're all
green
seeing
on
this.
everyone.
They're all seeing it.
We were all there, remember?
I thought that was just in my dream.
No, all of you saw that. All of you need to make wisdom saves, please.
I suppose you can't flash of genius on when we're all in separate dreams, huh?
Probably not.
Yep, no, it's okay. I accept it. Audra's dead.
Rain, I need one.
Yep, I was turning off my.
Don't give it to him.
thing.
It's exactly what he wants. Don't do it.
On.
This actually kind of fits. Everybody who just learned that they lost a loved one fails. Chimera, you did not immediately lose a family member tonight, so you succeed. And that ends the dream. Well, I guess technically the spell says that it triggers a nightmare for you, and that lasts the rest of your sleep, so you do not gain the benefits the following day. So, how about each person goes through and describes the nightmare that they feel afterwards? Oh, Rain. I guess the fire also gets you for, I don't know. For whatever reason, you were very triggered by all of this.
That was the nightmare. What do you mean? What nightmare gets us? Describe our nightmare.
No. Here's the terrible thing. That is the nightmare, but it continues on throughout your sleep. So does anybody have anything they want to say to write their own nightmare that completes out the night?
I got some ideas, but I can defer to
I
someone.
I almost said that Anwar doesn't sleep. I almost said that. That he stayed awake. Didn't though.
Hunter is in a chair, chained, mouth bound, in his house, in his father's room, where the murder just happened. And he is watching the ghost of his father standing over his own corpse, his own body, yelling, "No, this can't happen. Why?" Just going through the fury and the denial and that, like, pain, that loss, and just trying everything he can to, like, verbally wish it away. And Hunter has to watch that for the next however long it takes to wake up.
Alright. Anybody else want to offer up anything? It could be that Kamira is the only one who saved just out of sheer motherly rage.
I do think it, because you don't really have anything pointed for Rain and she failed, I think it's less their families dying and more all of the friends dying.
Yeah.
Like the fear of failure.
Yeah, that's definitely what Audra's is too. It's like hers is like probably like drowning in that brine pool, while like her uncle just like stands above, just like very disapprovingly, just like, I was the last one. Now now I'm all alone. Well, she's just drowning in her heavy armor in the brine.
I'm good. You gave enough description.
So, you all wake up the following morning. Probably very early in the morning, like wake up at like 4 a.m. And,
The name of the episode.
what do you all do?
Probably burst up immediately. We're all in different rooms, right? It's probably burst into whatever the most communal room is and just...
Oh, there's probably everybody's huddled up in the bedroom, so you guys probably all wake up.
I like to imagine this, like, peaceful, serene scene, showing outside, the sun cresting over, and like the first birds start chirping and the breeze whistle through the tall grass, and we get that and as it like flows in through the bedroom window, all of a sudden there's an eruption of noise where we all wake up at the same time, like, fuck, no, god damn it, no. Sorry, I scared my cat.
Oh.
That's what I imagine.
Alright.
I imagine Anwar is going to be like, Audra, send. You have to send to people now. You have to send to them. That can't be real. That wasn't real. He's in full denial.
It can't be. Scry on them. Do whatever we can. We got to see them now.
Let's scry. And Anwar, I have to tell you, I did try to use a sending last night to my mother, and I didn't get a response. I thought she was asleep, and maybe she was, but now I realize it could be something else.
Fine. Send to my parents. Send to your mom. Send to Paul. Like, scribe. That can't be real. That has to be another trick.
So Audra's already convinced, so she will send first to so since we don't have the benefits of a long rest, I can send to Anwar's parents and Paul. Okay, so I guess actually that checks out. I can to the people who we need to communicate with. Now I am burning a level 6 slot to get to Paul, but I can do that.
Sydney has her hand up.
Yes.
Since I saved, do I get the benefits of a long rest?
You do.
Yes! Alright, sorry.
The one person without spell
I hope
slots
you get
is the one who
swallowed
gets
again.
You only need a short rest. I don't know what you're guessing about.
I had like no hit points at the end of the day.
Oh, can I roll to save? Roll a con?
Your
Is that-
no hit points is still like more than some other people's mix.
Yes, it is, but I don't. I'm angry and I'm gonna need the hit points.
Is it
I
a
hear you.
con save to not suffer exhaustion, or is that just default suffer exhaustion?
No, you suffer a point.
think it's-
Well,
Oh.
I don't
Yeah,
think
It just
you
says
failed to save.
It just says you
Yeah.
don't gain the benefits of a long rest, so I do think you still have a chance to do a con save if you want to. You just don't get any of your spell slots or anything else you would
Yeah.
get back at the end of a long rest.
Gotcha. Go
Also,
ahead and do
that replenishes my luck, and God knows I need the fucking luck.
Okay. No exhaustion, at least for Rain.
10 ain't great, but it's not bad. It is.
10
Right
for
down the middle.
avoiding exhaustion?
It's
don't
a
remember.
10 con save. I don't know.
Oh, is that what
haven't
that's what we're rolling for?
Flat
That-
D20?
That
Down the
might
middle.
be enough, but then it might get worse later.
Seems awfully low.
Yeah, let
Don't
me see
help
what
him.
exhaustion-
He just killed our families. Don't help him.
The real enemy here.
He's trying to drive a wedge between us to make us fight with ourselves to weaken us.
That's
it's
definitely not what's
working.
happening. We are
That's
way
exactly
more.
what's happening. I saw it.
No, I feel way more
It's him,
incentivized
see?
to just kill
See?
Cerebro now.
Oh, so for a level 1 of exhaustion, the saving throw is DC 15.
Ah,
All right.
Okay. One level of exhaustion.
Yep.
What the fuck, Richard?
There we go.
Thank
I don't know
you.
how I hadn't had that yet.
I need that on the switchboard.
It is now.
Oh, bless your
Okay,
soul.
so Richard, the
What
first
the
sending.
fuck, Richard?
Richard, the first of those sendings is going to, I guess, Anwar's dad, and then it's just, are you okay? Please give a status update.
No response.
And then the same for Paul.
No response.
So I send both, and then I just look at both Anwar and Hunter, and I just get nothing.
Hunter punches drywall and storms outside.
Alright. What's everybody else doing? I'll avoid the whole Keon's gonna be like, what the fuck's going on thing? Like,
Yeah.
all that happens, but
Can you send to Gregor and tell him not to let Jeffrey out of his sight? Please.
Well, not to ratchet up the tension even more, I can't.
What?
I do not have a spell slot to do that.
Out
I'm
of
fine.
slots.
I have 2 level 2s and my level 1s.
We did long rest.
Swear to God, if my make-believe baby dies again.
it's a good thing your make-believe baby wasn't in STEM Garden at the time.
Wah! I knew. You know what though? We were like heavily. We were talking about it a little bit, like getting all of the families and like
Wait.
putting them somewhere else.
Can Atlas scry?
And we didn't.
Yeah, Atlas has asked you to scry on you before.
Does he have the spell slots? Because we could go out and be like, hey, you need to scry on STEM Garden because it's the
I
location.
don't know, you can go check on Atlas and see.
Atlas is dead.
What happens when I walk into that room?
You find him in the kitchen, and he's just like,
Eating pancakes. Being
he's just
chill.
stirring a pot. It's like, oh, hello there. How'd you
Morning.
sleep last night?
You need to scry on STEM Garden right now.
Okay. Any particular place in STEM Garden?
Just the city.
It's a large place. Anywhere, just like the central courtyard area?
Sure.
Okay. And he will. Actually, never came up with how he does his scry thing. I guess he's going to like pour out a pot and be like, "All right, hold on, fresh water, okay, doing the thing." And so he scries. Oh dear. There's just smoke going everywhere. Buildings collapsed. Something terrible has happened here. What? Why did you ask me to scry? What do you know?
Cerebro visited us in our dreams.
What did he say?
Well, he attacked the families of the others and destroyed Stem Garden.
I'm so sorry. Anything I can do to help? I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry. If you want, we can teleport there. It would take us another day until we could get to our order. Going to our order may be for the best, though. I understand that there is a bit of... I know you have things to tend to, but there are matters of the whole world at stake. Many more families could suffer the same fate if we don't act quickly.
Was that directed to everyone or to Rain?
I guess that was to Rain, unless Audra is also in the room. I don't know who also is in the room with him.
I mean, Rain would probably sit down at the table just because she's uber tired. I'm not sure. It's a decision for the others to make. It's their families.
Well, they can answer for themselves when they're able. But as someone who lost someone to the Empire once and got her revenge, I can say for certain I want to take the same revenge on Cerebro now, as soon as possible.
The quickest course of action is Agonazar.
So it is.
We should get on Warren here.
Let's give him some space first.
He's here.
He's
Anwar
never
comes
mind.
into the Anwar
Let's-
comes through the door.
I was about to say, I prefer Audra saying, let's give him some space, and that's actually the announcement, is he's here, just
he's-
standing in the doorway.
Studio audience as Anwar walks in. Woo.
Yeah, he was just hanging out in the hallway, like
Okay.
right around the door frame.
Anwar, I can't imagine what you're going through. You already faced so much turmoil yesterday when it was just your sister. Who else did you lose?
My parents. Using my sister.
Something truly vile and evil. Nothing short of an evil that only an aberrant or a demon or devil could possess. It is truly twisted.
We need to find him. At the time, I thought we could use our time to lure them all into a trap, but I don't care about that anymore. I want to find him, and I want to end him.
I understand. Time is of the essence. If you're willing to go the route I think you are, then I'm all for it. But I see all of you in terrible condition, with mentally and physically. Just, do you need time?
Pleased enough as it is. We need to get Sorsha, and we need to get the jar. We need to find that squid.
Okay. Well, I've been to that place before now, and I did take a memento when I was there, so I can bring us back to Sorsha quite quickly, and without fail. It will be another day before I can get you to the Order then. Maybe you can use that time to rest up as best you can. At least you'll be in a place of healing where they value resting. Maybe it's destiny that you were meant to go back there on this terrible day. Alright. So he'll gather you all up and he will say, if we are to bring Sorsha with us, one must be left behind at the retreat center. Who shall it be? If your family's in danger, I recommend we keep Keon with us. Arantis, maybe? Arantis is like, I will stay behind.
Thank you, Arantis. We continue to ask more and more from you.
It is okay. I've already spent a lot of time there, and I quite like it.
Good.
Chimera, I think Alice is also going to check in with you. Are you in agreement?
Oh, I'm in agreement. Yeah.
And where is Hunter? I will need him for us to teleport together. Did anybody see where he went? He's quite fast.
I think I maybe stick my head out the window and yell his name.
You hear it. Yeah, just 5 more minutes.
For a second, I thought you was doing cocaine in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, Hunter's here. Let's go.
Wow!
Important question for the DM.
Yeah.
Does Hunter have cocaine?
You've never mentioned it up to this point, so I'm going to say no.
Okay.
But I will say, as a smuggler who's been working the routes for a while, you know where to find it.
Oh, is that what you meant when you had diamond dust, huh?
Is that what I meant?
You know, every time I cast calm emotions, this diamond dust disappears. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Yeah, Hunter comes out of the outhouse. He's like wiping his eyes, trying to maintain himself.
It's revenge time. Come on.
I could use some revenge time.
Let's
Point
go.
me at it. Hell yeah.
Alright.
Let's roll.
So, might need a little bit of time to find the picture. So for right now, we'll just say that you teleport back to that spot, and also I need to move you forward today.
In the meantime, Artem, could you just spam that one button, the new button, please, for like 3 to 5 rounds?
Fuck, Richard? What the 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 fuck, Richard?
We need a remix. And like the bass
Thank
drop.
What the fuck, Richard?
Do-do-do-do-do.
That's fair. I knew something like that was coming when I figured out that's what Cerebro would do. I'm like, ooh, this is evil for me.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
I like
heartbroken
to imagine
and
you
delighted.
shared it. You like
It's
shared
what my character would do. Sure.
The character is you. No, I like to imagine like you shared it. Melody was like, Richard, you like, no,
You can't do this.
no, babe, that's too much.
I knew that I was venturing very far doing this, so I appreciate you guys being team players with it.
Love it.
Well, it's fine. Listen, my character will now murder your villain, so that's that's what mine would do.
See, this
Alright.
is why you have to make a character that all of their family is already dead.
The super
Uh,
orphan.
So, you guys teleport over to the retreat center, where you see Ronkin and the woman who heads up the place and all the other stuff.
Also dead.
Nope, they are not.
Oh wow.
Nope, Ronkin was one of the people that he threatened to go after next.
Could have been playing some shiesty moves. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody was already actually dead, and then he's like, surprise! Fun joke.
So, what do you do when you get there?
I don't know.
We're where specifically?
You were
The
back.
healing house.
Yeah, the healing house where there's Sorsha and Ronkin and I forget the other Furbolg woman's name, but
So
they're
is
all
her-
there at the
Windrider?
healing house
Is
area
that
along
her?
the.
Windrider?
Maybe I honestly couldn't tell you. Been a long time since I made her name, and I didn't write it down.
So we need Sorsha for the genie thing, right?
Mhm.
Is that where
Yeah.
we're coming to get her? Okay.
Mhm.
So after this, I guess we're here for the day, unless we can,
You,
because we can't teleport again.
yeah, to get to the place where the genie lamp is, you need to wait another day.
Alright.
We
Well-
can try to long rest again.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I mean, if we,
I will say too that you may recall that when you enter inside of the building, there's kind of like a perpetual harp playing and stuff, where you're basically under the effects of calm emotions.
I don't want that. I
Um,
stay outside. I stay
I
outside.
fight it. Can I fight it?
Yeah, if you can fight calm emotions, then you can fight it.
You fought the first time.
Say what? Wisdom roll? Saving throw?
Charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw. I fail.
No, I think you're just so worn out and exhausted that.
Oh right, that should have been a disadvantage, shouldn't it?
So yeah, you just if you go
I think
in
that's just
there,
skill checks.
either way, it's a
Oh.
9. So yeah, you if you go in there, you start to feel the effects. And you might be comfortably numb, or you might like hate the feeling of it, and you want to go back outside. It's up to you.
Gotcha.
Anwar is not going to go inside.
Okay.
He is going to walk north.
Okay.
Oh, I know what he's doing.
Walking north.
I know what you're doing too.
If people want to follow him, they can, but he's not looking to feel better.
No, I
Uh,
mean,
He's
is
looking
he-
to feel even.
Is he going towards the lake? Because Rain will definitely be like, Onward? That's not a good idea.
Kind of like on a lake.
yeah.
Uh,
Audra's still in the give them space mood, so
I don't know if the lake is.
I guess
I think
I don't want to be the
think
one
it's-
to go inside, but I'll be the one to go inside and give Sorsha a rundown. Be like, hey, girly. Hey, sweet pea.
Ryan, we know
I guess
you're
it's
going
more
to the-
west than north, but yeah, if you want to go towards the lake, it's like right there. It's like
we know who
it's a
you're
lake
going
house.
for.
Okay, I thought we were on the,
oh.
like, the bottom here.
I did not until somebody was like, oh, the lake.
I think. I mean, due north would just take you into the woods. But
I was
north.
implying that I was going to the lake.
Okay. All right. So, you start going over to the lake, and Audra. Who's the main
Yeah.
one that's been interacting with Poe? Is it Rain or Audra? I think it's Rain
Rain.
now.
At the moment, it's been rain.
Rain, you hear from Poe, who says, "Okay, update for you. I've got absolutely wonderful news. It looked like things were going very, very bad in the night. There's certainly we have taken on quite a bit of casualties. However, out of the blue, in the middle of the night, suddenly it was like a bunch of fireflies all around, just little blinking things, just fairies started coming out in reinforcements and healing our people and going through and giving us bolstering through for battle. And there are all sorts of other fey creatures and an elf who had like a sword that was like shining in the moonlight. It was something I don't know. I don't know what changed the Fae's minds to go give us reinforcements, but it happened. They were here, and it's a freaking miracle. And we have really turned the tide, and now we are smashing back. And we expect victory by nightfall.
I feel like I have to be the one to like. Rain's in kind of like a emotionless mood, and she's gonna have to ruin his parade a little bit and just be like, Stem Garden was destroyed overnight.
You just see like dot 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 dot. And that's it. That's all you get from him at the moment. Like, I need to report some things. Please give as many details as you can.
Yeah, she'll fill him in on Cerebro taking revenge and destroying things. Maybe it'll help fuel everybody against Cerebro. Who knows?
Alright. So that happens. Anwar is heading towards the lake. What's everybody else doing? So Chimera is going up and filling in Sorsha.
Yeah.
Sorsha's like, oh my gosh, a genie? That is a little bit of a tall order. I can try, but I am still not much more than an apprentice. I am very new. I will maybe do my best.
That's all that I ask, really. That'd be absolutely lovely of you. We can't go until tomorrow. Everything is in shambles, so we have some waiting time.
Okay, I do just have a little bit of a question. Are we risking, am I risking my life doing this?
I'm not going to tell you no, darling. But I can tell you that we will protect you the best we possibly can.
Well, you've survived this whole time, so I guess that's good enough for me.
And I completely omit the fact that I was swallowed whole yesterday.
Alrighty, so that's what's
Or
going
that
on
all
over
of
with
your
Chimera.
family died.
Rain is currently corresponding with Poe. What are Hunter and Audra doing?
You can go first, Andrew.
Well, Hunter kind of walked in.
Oh, right.
Hunter walked in because he thought that's where we were going for some reason. But I think that's okay.
Chimera did go in with you.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, Chimera, do you want to roll
Oh,
to see if your emotions are calmed or not?
sure. Charisma save?
Yep.
No.
Our dice
No.
tell a story, is all.
Yep.
And the
Then
story.
the dice tell you that like deep down your mind is like, I need this. I know I'm fighting, but I just need this.
Well,
It's
the
like my
dice-
stress response is like, you know what, girl? You need a nap. I was like, yeah, I do.
the story that Hunter's dice is telling, he walks through the threshold and immediately the anger is still there, deep, deep inside of him. But it's like he walks through the mist of fury and is able to see everything. And kind of half-mindedly, he just kind of takes a hand as an escorted to like some warm. But his mind is clear, and instead of seething, he's just looking at all the paths of revenge. And he is looking at all the options, clear-headed. He knows there's nothing he can do now about what has happened, and he's looking at every possible way to destroy Cerebro that he has. and he's just going to let his body heal in these waters as he lets his hamster wheel spin.
And Audra, your uncle is still there. He'll probably. So you're like, Audra, what are
Yeah.
you doing back here already? I thought you guys were gone.
We were, and now we're back, and we're going to be gone again.
Light on the details there.
Well, that's not the details we need to talk about. You should probably sit down, Uncle.
Okay. He'll sit down and you tell him what's going on.
Listen, I don't know how to say it, but you need to know, and it needs to be from me. Cerebro, he got to Mom.
What do you mean he got to you?
He sent his people after the family of everyone on this team.
Gods. Alright, I knew
No,
that either should have been with her.
Stay
or
sitting.
I need to come with you this time.
You can't. We're at capacity.
What, you just expect me here to do nothing? I gotta do something. At the very least, I gotta get out of here. Just being here is putting these people in danger. I gotta go somewhere. They're fighting down south. That's where I'll go.
I'm not going to stop you from doing that. And if you feel you're putting people in danger by being here, I won't stop you from leaving. I just, you know, you need to know. It's just us now.
They're gonna pay for what they did to my brother, what they did to your sister, what they did to your mother. They're gonna pay.
They will.
All of them.
They will. They could certainly use your help back in town, too, if you're so inclined. I'm not going to tell you what to do about all this. I know mine's made up. My mind's made up.
I'm gonna try to get out of these damn woods. If I end up on the north side, I'm going back to your riverbed. If I end up south, going south. Woods will guide me where to go.
So be it. And she's gonna she made those like twin daggers last time.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna pull the one out that she's still holding and like kind of prompt him to pull out the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like, well then, don't forget I still owe you this other one when we're both done.
Yeah. Well, alright then. Hey, listen, no offense, you look like shit. You should rest. I'm gonna head
I
out now,
didn't
though.
sleep well last night. You do what you have to do, and to be honest, I might just take your bed.
Remember, protect yourself before helping others. Alright.
And then
I'm going. I can't wait. I'm fucking pissed. Can't
I
wait another
imagine
month. I'm leaving.
they'll do a little like Three Musketeers tap of the dagger of the daggers on
Yeah,
his way out,
I'm
just
out of
like-
here now.
Yeah.
And before you know it, he is gone.
Yep.
Cutting back over to Anwar. And I didn't mean to like make everybody else do something else. If anybody wants to chase after him after some point, that's fine too. But what's Anwar doing right now?
He's gonna calmly and collectively stomp over to the lake and fire off a thunder wave over the lake.
All right. Just kind of a big splash goes through.
I will say for metagamers, this is a thing that can be heard 300 feet away.
Yep.
You just hear ronking from like across the lake. What was that?
So, upon hearing that, do any of the rest of you do anything in response? Because you just heard a big boom, and the only time you hear that big boom is from Anwar.
Rain is gonna fall over because she was following before she got the message.
Okay.
Hunter leaps from the heated pool, just from meditation, snapped open, jump.
Audra is about to go to bed on her she's not like traded beds right with her uncle, and she's like halfway into the pillow, and then she's just like, "Oh, come on!" So get up out of bed and go toward the noise.
Kamira, you probably hear this as you're ending your conversation with Sorsha. And so that means, Anwar, you've got about a minute or two before people get over to you, probably. And it probably takes about a minute or two for the Raven Queen to rise up out of the water. She said, "I thought I was very clear not to do that anymore. Where's your respect, young man?"
Sorry, I didn't sleep very well, and I'm all out of respect slots right now. Could really use your help right now. A lot has happened in the last 24 hours, and currently there's a immortal monster wandering the lands, and I'm hoping that maybe as someone like the Goddess of Death, she might want to weigh in on that a little bit, on how we should deal with that.
Which immortal monster do you speak of?
The Tarask.
I've wanted to get the Tarask for a time. The Tarask is older than I am. He cheats death by some kind of magical means I do not understand. But oh, I would like to get him.
Then let's fucking get the Tarask.
Where is it?
Anwar's gonna like explain what's been happening, and like what they learned and everything like that. But he is pissed. He's pissed about everything. But more importantly, he knows that this, despite possibly pissing off the one person with the best chance of helping him with killing a mortal monster, he's like, "Yo, this is your shit. This is your domain, and we need to fix this right now."
It's a hell of a power move, a gamble, and I love it.
I've never been able to defeat him before. What kind of magic do you access to?
Well, we're working on a way to help pacify a ancient noble genie. We have powerful skills ourselves. We have a bomb. I call it a nuke.
How powerful is this bomb?
It was charged by one of the champions of the Frost Maiden and was said to be powerful enough to level an island, Fort Moldrop, to the south.
Where is this bomb?
Flower's gonna tap his bag of holding.
Show it to me.
Anwar pulls out the lead box. You should know it's dangerous to be around.
Try me.
He'll open it.
She seems unaffected as she draws closer and reaches her hand out to touch it. She places her fingertips on it. Says, "I might be able to infuse enough energy into this to negate the immortality of a being for a brief moment. But I need souls to do it. Tell me, Anwar, would you trade your life to end it.
If that's what it took.
It would be a start. But as you know in magic, many things come in threes. I would need you and 2 others.
Can I insight her?
Go for it. Getting a little bit of Leshy vibes here of like, you also picked up on like she hasn't defeated this thing before. Has she gone up against it before? Has like, if she hasn't been able to defeat it before, why is this gonna work? Like, you know, maybe it will work, maybe it won't. She seems like she's not 100% on it. She thinks that it'll work. But, like, she must have thralls and people who are, like, warlocks who are committed to her. Why hasn't she been able to do it by now if that's what she wanted to do? So there's some things that seem iffy, but also, like, maybe it could work. There's at least a 50% chance that this will work. 50 to 60.
Like, why is it my soul she wants? Like, why is it 3 souls specifically? That'll make the difference.
Again, there's a number of things that logically are not fully lining up to you. It seems like, to a degree, she's hungry to get your soul because you're right in front of her and she just wants it.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now. Alwar's gonna shut the box again. Listen, it sounds like we're on the same page as far as wanting to destroy the Tarask, another thing. But the souls thing, if it were just me, maybe, partially lying. But I'm going to need a little bit more than that.
It's probably around this time that everybody else gets out there and sees. You just like, go out to the lake and see Anwar is holding up a box with the bomb, making deals with the. Or
the
at
box
least
is closed now, but he is holding.
Yeah.
Onwar's proposing.
At least talking deals with the Raven Queen.
Anwar?
I support this union. Bring your new wife to the battlefield.
I'm very confused. Who is this large woman, and why does she resemble Poe?
Everyone, this is the Raven Queen, goddess of death. Everyone, or Raven Queen, this is everyone.
So many people wish to defeat something unkillable. Would you trade your own life? Do you care about it that much?
She's offered us the generous deal of the 3 of us dying or giving us your souls. Or is there a difference?
In order for the magic to take effect, the second the bomb goes off, we'll die.
Why exactly would it have to be one of our souls? Could we not just bind our enemies to it?
3 willing souls. It has to be a sacrifice.
And you know for sure this would work?
It's your best chance of it working. I've never used magic in contact with something that clearly is radiating so much energy already, so that's what's different.
But you don't know.
You want 3 souls without a guarantee it'll work.
I've never tried it before, so I don't know if it will work. I can't guarantee you something that I have not yet tested.
Y'all are snarking real hard to a god, by the way.
In a day.
Yeah.
Now I tire of this. Either we make this deal or I go back into my slumber.
Anwar, this is a bad idea.
What if this is the only way, though?
We know it's not.
Do we?
I'll do it.
We have other options.
Chimera just in the back.
We may need a hard cut here, Richard. For reasons I will text you later.
It's about 10:30. We could cut here.
I feel like there's been an ultimatum pressed on our group, and now is a really solid time for like that cliffhanger where next time it's like last time on.
That's fine with me.
That ending of like, what do you say?
I'll do it.
I'm good with that.
I thought let's get that fucking Taras was a good cliffhanger, but
Oh, absolutely. I felt it.
All right. Well then, there we are. That's tonight's
Okay.
session.
Ooh, Richard, you son of a bitch.
See you next week, stream.
Richard?
Well, let's get one more, Artem.
End it there. End it there.
What the fuck, Richard?